شفته ما كلمنيش ده لسه معدي قدامي وعينه جت كده في عيني طلعت انا صح في كلامي زعلان وما يقوليش كده برضه وانا هسأل عايش من غيره كده.
I think of women who have been suppressed and who are considered lesser and just kind of an abuse of what I perceive Islamic women. You know, women doesn't have much rights in the Islamic faith, from what I understand.
I think it gets perceived with the burqas, lack of women's rights a lot of the time, at least here in the West, even though I guess it could be a misperception. Sometimes it's hard to tell. I guess the ones that are easy to tell are the ones who are wearing the kind of typical Islamic fashion, the burqas, the veils, those kind of things.
Normally I'll see, I mean, around this campus, they normally just dress like normal, you know, college kids, Americans. They don't really, I mean, you see like the veils and stuff a lot, but you also see two different worlds.
Usually I think of a hijab or a burqa. Long, flowy, usually somewhat conservative, usually covering hair or facial features. That's usually what I think of when I think of Muslim fashion.
People with veils over their faces and over their heads and long, dark dresses down to their feet.
I said, well, technically from a Christian standpoint, the Islamic fashion and Christian fashion in terms of aren't really that much different if you read the Bible. And because in the New Testament I know it speaks of, and in the Old Testament it speaks of coverings for women, but it also has to do with the place and the period and the context in which it was taken. I don't know. There's a lot of very interesting, but really it's not that much different. It's just how much emphasis you really choose to put on it. Most Christians in America have not chosen to take on the covering, even though it is in the Bible. Most Christians have not chosen to take on the covering, and the covering and the Islamic religion has become really much of a fashion statement because it's still. You can still cover yourself up, but still show your personality.
Well, I'm actually from Nova, but my parents are from Pakistan.
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm ethnically mostly Irish and Polish.
I'm from Papa, which is a 24-hour flight from here, and you guys should try it. It's really comfortable, the airplane. Oh yeah.
I'm from Northern Virginia. My mom is from the United States and my dad is from Pakistan.
Tough question, let me see. I've been wearing hijab since grade 7, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 2 years of university. So I wore it for 8 years.
I started wearing the hijab when I was a sophomore in high school, so I was 15. Just put it on one day, decided I'd go with it.
I started wearing hijab last May.
I think about 2.5 years.
It doesn't really for me, but like if we go to events like family gatherings, then it does. But here in Richmond, like it doesn't play a factor. I wear just usually westernized clothing, but more modest.
Yes and no, because Qatar is an Arabic country with a Muslim religion. And so some of the people, they have to wear long if they're wearing hijab and stuff. and some people don't because they're not Muslim. You have a mixture of a lot of cultures. You have the Muslims, you have the Christians, you have the Jews, you have a lot of people there, which is amazing. We're interacting with a lot of people.
A little bit, like the pieces I showed when I showed my wardrobe. Some of my family brought over that from Pakistan, and I try to like play it into my wardrobe just so, you know, I have a sense of culture in what I wear. But for the most part, I don't really wear cultural clothing.
Yeah, definitely. I have, like, what is this? I don't know, like, the Ann Taylor Loft or something, like, you know, like American.
I like to wear things that are bright, bright, long sleeves, covered, loose, flowy.
I would say that I follow trends, but I like to add my own personal touch to the trends, and then of course I have to match my scarf to everything I'm wearing, and definitely matchy, but I also like to stick to trends.
I really just every day strive to wear something modest, comfortable, and then whatever the weather is, and then something that, you know, isn't ugly.
My personal fashion. If it's blue and it's blousy, it's poofy, then it's fine with me.
It is important to me, but it's not the most important thing, but it is important. Like, I think what you wear can sometimes influence the way others look at you, so it's important to, I think, put a good image out there of yourself. I know that I'm not saying to judge people on what they're wearing, because most of the time, a lot of the times, people are not what they're wearing. So I think it is important to me, yeah, how I portray myself to others.
Yeah, because the way I dress is kind of how I represent myself, and I guess that's how everyone represents themselves. So I don't know about other people, but I want to represent myself in a certain way. Like, I'm a Muslim, I respect myself, I have some fashion sense, and that's pretty much it, I guess.
That's kind of like a trick question, because people keep saying what you wear is important because it shows your personality and stuff, which is not exactly true. I mean, like, it doesn't mean that if you're wearing really, really nice clothes and educated clothes with a suit and a tie, it doesn't really mean that you're a very, you know, very responsible and good, elegant person. Sometimes it just shows that sometimes you're just a messy, crazy person. I'm not gonna say that my clothes are very important to me. I know it shows my religion through my clothes because it covers all my body and whatnot. But I mean, at home I would wear like a mini skirt or whatnot, and like my hair is like crazy and colorful. So, you know, first impressions are important. So I guess what you wear is important, but I don't take it I don't take it to that extreme. I mean, like, what's really important is the person's personality, and their personality pretty much shows everything in their clothes. I know you agree.
Yes, it is, because I feel like when people see hijabis, they kind of have this idea of what one should look like, or they see hijabis on the media, so they're kind of like, they only see us as a certain way. But I feel like with my fashion, I can kind of express myself more and like show that I have a personality and I'm different from everybody else, you know, like I'm a unique person.
I don't have one fashion inspiration. I like to look you know, in the magazines and blogs, fashion blogs, and there are a lot of hijabi blogs out there, so they're all inspirational.
My sister. I think my sister is really fashionable, and I always follow everything she does. So in high school I would always borrow her clothes, and she hated it. And I kind of just like I just looked at what she wore and everything. Every time I shop, I'm like, would my sister like this? And so I choose. It's kind of bad, but I like it, so.
You're asking so much about fashion. I'm not a fashion person. You can just see that I'm people. I'm awesome. My fashion is amazing. I'm like, you know, the world rotates around me. I am all that it is. So what I wear, all of you should wear a lot like me, because, you know, I'm so, you can see that I'm like totally amazing. I'm like, you know, the new trend, the fashion, in the future. Okay, this is so not working. Wear what you want to wear. Be cool. You're your own person, and don't care what people tell you.
I like to be comfortable. Those cowboy boots don't look like they're very comfortable, but they are. I would say kind of classy. Like, I like solid colors, and then just matching it with like layers or something. This is my corduroy jacket that I got when I was probably in 8th grade from H&M. I love it. I'm trying to bring corduroy back because it's really comfortable, and I like it.
Oh, I guess that's just as I said before, just comfortable, and I try to look nice, and yeah, that's really it.
I don't really have a classification. I like to do a lot of different trends, even though, I don't know, I like a whole bunch of different stuff, like a variety of different stuff. So I don't really have a classification.
Well, it's an obligation in Islam for women to wear the hijab in the Quran. I first put it on because, like, when I accepted Islam, it's kind of like every day you learn more, and like every day your faith strengthens. It's not like one day you're like, okay, I'm like a devoted Muslim, like, you know, every day with learning more. And so I think like a year into being Muslim, I decided like, okay, it's like the logical next step. It's an obligation for me. But I mean, it's not, if when you just accept Islam, it's not like, that would be hard for someone who just accepted Islam to just change everything. So I think like God grants mercy, like you can take your time kind of with it. So anyway, so a year into it, I decided to put it on, and then it was kind of like a leap of faith at first, like, okay, I know this is obligatory in the religion, so I'm going to do it. And then since then, of course, I've seen like, you kind of do it as a leap of faith, but then afterwards you see the results. You can't really explain it. Just like, I don't know, I feel like I get a lot more respect. And like if I'm walking with my friends, for example, and the guys are like, oh damn, like looking at them, they kind of don't do that to me, because like you can just tell like I'm not about that. So you can kind of like see the results of it later, even though I didn't necessarily know that before I put it on.
When I went to Sunday school, like at the mosque, an Islamic school, growing up, and I just always felt like it was something I was gonna do. It's hard to explain it really, but I knew I was gonna wear it, and I felt like at the time that I started, if I didn't start then, I wouldn't have started. Do you know what I mean? So, so I just felt like it was the right thing for me.
I chose to wear it because I knew a lot of girls. When I came here, I was introduced to so many girls some who wore the hijab, some who didn't, part of the NSA, and I started talking to them because I was interested in it before. I always was thinking about it, but I never had like the courage to actually do it. And so after discussing with them about, you know, how the ones who do wear hijab, I would ask them like, how did it affect you? And they always would come back with positive things. And I was like, then I thought to myself, you know, why are you afraid? You know, what are you afraid of? So I was just like, just do it. Just so I started to do it then.